I found this wood flight board from Target, and when I saw it, I said to myself, I feel like I could use this in a project. So I'm obviously not going to keep it a flight board. And what I did is the top of it was a chalkboard, and I'm going to take my Wise Owl Snow Owl paint and paint the entire top. Now, sometimes when you're painting, you have to be patient. You have to allow that first coat to dry. As you can see, my first coat here is not full coverage, but I allowed it to dry. I went over it a second time, and now I got pretty good coverage. Once everything was fully dry, I have these napkins that I found from Hobby Lobby. They were originally $4.99, but the fall decor is on their sale right now, and they have a variety of different napkins you can pick from. Now, when using a napkin to decoupage, you want to make sure that you remove the correct amount of layers from the napkin, leaving just the imaged layer for your project. So once I figured out that I will need 2 napkins to cover my board, I'm going to peel back the first layer. You just find a corner and just try to get the layers to lift. And then here's my second layer I'm peeling off. Now this was a 3-ply napkin, so the imaged layer is the third layer. And I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to do the same thing to the second napkin. And sometimes both layers come off in one peel, and that's totally fine. So once I have my napkins ready to decoupage, I'm going to take a Gen foam brush. We get these from our local hardware store, or you can also find them on Amazon. And we like these because they are better quality. And I'm going to take my Wise Owl 1-hour enamel clear. You can also use the Wise Owl varnish for this. And remember, we do ship throughout the United States. And once I have the left side of my board, I'm going to lay the napkin down and take a piece of saran wrap and my brayer and roll on top of it. Now this is going to help eliminate any bubbling and wrinkling in my napkin while it dries. Then I'm going to go to the right side of my board, apply the 1-hour enamel clear. I'm going to line my second napkin up as best as I can with the first napkin, and then I'm going to lay it down. And again, we like to lay a piece of saran wrap down, and if you take the brayer and go over your napkin, it helps get rid of any wrinkling. And then I put 1 coat of the 1-hour enamel right on top of that. And then you can peel your extra napkin off. If you're not careful, sometimes you can tear into your project like I did in the bottom here, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can also wait for it to dry and use a piece of sandpaper to remove any excess napkin that you have. And this is what we have so far, and then I'm going to allow this to fully dry. I got these small ceramic pumpkins from Target as well. They were $1 each, and they're calling them a small mini planter. And I'm going to take my Wise Owl 1-hour enamel and paint on top of the ceramic. Now they are white, and I was fine with leaving them that color for the base color, so I applied the 1-hour enamel. And then I'm going to take my Wise Owl chocolate paint after the 1-hour enamel has fully dried and paint the entire pumpkin with chocolate. While that's still wet, I'm going to take a baby wipe and just wipe off some of that paint. And you can mess around with this. You can leave it heavy in the crevices of the pumpkin. You can kind of antique it. And the 1-hour enamel makes it very easy to wipe the paint off. And then I just took some of the Mandarina Wise Owl paint and dusted it on, and then took my baby wipe and just blended everything in. And this is what we have. Now you can do this with any color paint that you want. The most important step is making sure that you have that top coat, which I place the 1-hour enamel. That just helps the paint move around. If I was just to do this on the ceramic, I would not have the same results. So I covered the pumpkin entirely with the chocolate, wiped it off with the baby wipe, and then I decided to add a little bit of Mandarina orange in there. and you can leave the orange heavy, or you can kind of wipe it off to just blend it a little bit. And I sat them inside the flight holder, and this is what it looks like. Now, if you don't find the flight holder, you can just use a regular piece of wood and glue these planters onto the board. And then I found these mini mum stickers from Hobby Lobby, and then I took some of the reindeer moss from the Dollar Tree, and I filled each planter with that. And now we just have this very easy fall centerpiece. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Paint products, tissue paper, transfers, and mesh stencils can all be found on our webpage at chalkitupfancy.com. And don't forget, you can also check out other tutorials on our webpage as well. Have a great day.